And I heard also about a story when your dad took you for the skating first time and you fell down.
I wanted to play hockey.
Okay.
My friends played hockey. I wanted to play hockey. And this is actually a very important part of my story because my parents never said, you can't do that. My parents had an expression.
Great attitude.
Well, the expression I grew up with was there's no such word as can't. We've heard that one. I've heard it a million times, probably literally. So they lived by that. You want to try hockey? Let's go try hockey. My dad didn't have money. We weren't a wealthy family. So they didn't go buy me skates. They borrowed some skates that happened to fit. My dad sharpened them real sharp. And because I was going to the school across the street, or because there was a school across the street, there was a hockey rink outside. So he took me over there. He put me on the surface of the ice with brand new sharpened skates. But my dad didn't skate. He was also an immigrant. He didn't know how to skate, but he knew how to push. So he pushed me really hard, and like a big man would with a little boy, I was 9 years old, I flew across the ice. In fact, it was pretty amazing. I didn't even fall right away. I was doing really good. I was moving. I was like, as they say, what's the expression? Living in the moment.
Oh.
But I noticed those boards that surround the rink. They were coming at me. I thought they were coming at me. I was actually going at them. It was an optical illusion. I got so scared, I didn't know what to do. But I had to stop. However, I'd never skated. I didn't know what to do. But growing up in Canada, I watched Hockey Night in Canada on television. And I watched the hockey players, how they stop when they want to stop on skates. So I remembered from television, and I closed my eyes, and I tried to stop. And I did. Actually, the skates stopped.
Okay.
I didn't. I flew in the air because they stopped so quickly. It was like, momentum. I just flew. Not far, I guess. It felt far. But I had no hands to break my fall. So I fell on my face. I mean, ow. Did that hurt? Yeah. I started to cry. I was 9. I was a little boy. What did my dad do? Rush out and pick me up in his arms and dry my tears and take me for an ice cream cone?
That's what nowadays parents do.
No. You know what he did? He said, what are you doing? And I'm like, bleeding. And he said, get off your bum. You're making a mess. I'm going to have to clean that up. My dad didn't even help me get up that day. Now, is that how we should treat kids? I'm not saying how you should treat your own kids. All I know is you said it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to be tough on our kids so they can learn to be tough in their own lives.
Yeah.
By the way, I never tried to play hockey again.
Yeah. That's good story. Because that day he helped you so much. Like he didn't help you, but in actual that helped you with with the attitude you have right now.
My parents, to not take anything away from what they did, but because they were old, let's imagine they were that age when I was a baby. So by the time I was a teenager, do the math, they would have been in their 70s. Yeah. They worried about not being around to take care of me. So they decided to make sure I could take care of myself. And sometimes the lessons of learning to take care of yourself can be very painful. The hardest part when parents say this, kids always roll their eyes. This hurts me more than it's going to hurt you. It's actually true.
Yeah.
To think of, because I'm a parent, to think of what they went through watching me fall, watching me get up, watching me take kids that made fun of me and respond, not necessarily with just rocks, but always wondering how I was going to become resilient.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great word. I became resilient because I had so many challenges that I overcame. Once you start to overcome one challenge, you can overcome the next one and the next one. We've talked about that already.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it was like, okay, maybe you folks aren't, crazy. Maybe you're saying to me, I can be independent, live on my own, have a family someday, own a business someday. Maybe they were not looking through a crystal ball.
Yeah.
They were just giving me the faith I needed to believe in myself.
Yeah, and that faith helped you rise so much.
Huge.
Yeah.
And I still have faith to this day. Not what I would call out loud religious faith, but I do believe. There's no question about it. I am well taken care of by the universe.
ਸੋ ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਬਚਪਨ ਦੀ ਹੋਰ ਘਟਨਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕੀਤੀ। ਉਸਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਛੋਟਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਰਗੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹਾਕੀ ਖੇਡਣਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਸੰਦ ਸੀ, ਆਈਸ ਹਾਕੀ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਖੇਡਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਡੈਡ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਕੀ ਖੇਡਣ ਜਾਣਾ, ਤਾਂ ਉਸਦੇ ਡੈਡ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਸਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਬੋਰੋ ਕੀਤੇ ਸਕੇਟਸ, ਉਹ ਬੂਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਹਾਕੀ ਆਈਸ ਹਾਕੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਉਸਨੂੰ ਹਾਕੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ। ਅਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਕੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਸਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਕੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਤੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਿਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਹੱਥ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸੇਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਿਆ। ਸਕੇਟਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਰੇ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਏ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਡਿੱਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਮੂੰਹ ਪਰਨੇ ਡਿੱਗਿਆ, ਤਾਂ ਉਸਦਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਨੀਚੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਅਤੇ ਉਸਦੇ ਬਲੀਡਿੰਗ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, ਉਸਦੇ ਖੂਨ ਨਿਕਲਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ? ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਲੀਡ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮੇਰੇ ਖੂਨ ਨਿਕਲ ਰਿਹਾ। ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਡੈਡੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਫੇਰ? ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਫੇਰ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿਉਂ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਚੱਕਾ? ਤੂੰ ਆਪੇ ਡਿੱਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪੇ ਹੀ ਉੱਠੇਗਾ। ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਸਨੇ ਖੁਦ ਹੀ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਉਹ ਐਸਾ ਉੱਠਿਆ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਕਦੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਡਿੱਗਿਆ। ਸੋ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸੱਟ ਵੱਜ ਜਾਵੇ ਪਿਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਹਾਈ ਵੂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹਾਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਐਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤੱਤੀ ਵਾਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਲਈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਖੱਡੇ ਖੁਦ ਰਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਿਖਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਜੇ ਡਿੱਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਵੀ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਸੋਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ। ਤਾਂ ਬੜੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਿਓ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੱਲ ਸਿਖਾਈ।